I mean, look, a lot of people have 2 NA accounts, just, because they happen to have them. Also, he calls him Papi. I have a feeling they know each other.
Let's go.
I don't know why. So, once again, we are here with the Terran player, the purple Terran, representing Peru, and Unidos por el Vicio. It is Tavo.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, it's Papi Chulo himself, representing Team License to Kill, the Canadian Zerg player. It is wAesoph.
Look, their logo is transparent.
It is. You can see through it.
Oh my, you can see the drones.
Very fancy.
It's like such a small thing.
I appreciate it. We don't get enough of them.
Do I want to know what Papi Chulo means?
No, yeah, it isn't bad.
Okay.
It's just,
so
yeah.
What does it mean?
Well, that's a good question. Chulo is like, it's a word. It's not like mate. Maybe it's not as friendly, but you say, if you're friends with someone, you can say to them, what's the direct translation? I almost want to say like bro.
Bruh.
Yeah, I almost want to say that, but yeah. I don't know.
So see, if anyone in the chat knows what it actually means, let us know.
Like I'm looking at this as like in Mexican Spanish, chulo is a word you're looking to use if you find someone, but in a non-sexual way, really pretty. It's like yeah.
In non-sexual way, really pretty.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, hey.
Sure, I'll take that.
Yeah. Oh god. It is very Mexican, very Mexican. But we are getting into our series here, slowly but surely. So far, nothing too crazy. Obviously, as the game goes on, we're going to be looking to see if Tavo once again wants to go into that mech, and how wAesoph responds to that.
Yeah, so far, Tavo is getting 1 link, and maybe even 2.
Oh, almost.
Up. Close.
Up.
Focus. Not quite. 1 link it is.
Only 1 link for now, so shout out to wAesoph. He was actually able to hide a drone, so he will get his 3rd base up and running. It was not delayed by this Reaper, so wAesoph opening up pretty well here, only losing a single drone. Meanwhile, Tavo, this time going for a 1-1-1, this time not going for a faster 3rd CC.
Yep, indeed. So, do you think he will go for any air units this time? Because, as you said, he didn't go for that faster 3rd CC. So does that mean he's going for a more ground-based build?
Yeah, well,
a more standard, I want to say?
I would say more aggressive. Like, usually 3rd CC is like,
yeah.
Okay, it's economic, and you're pushing out like 10 minutes or something like that, which is what we saw.
I mean, Helios are pretty aggressive themselves, you know?
I guess. But yeah, with this 1-1-1, I'm curious to see what the build is going to be in there. It is going to be that fusion core once again. He is going to go into BCs. Will wAesoph be able to spot it? He does have overlords. They are kind of in position.
Yeah. As again, that fusion core is on the very back of the base, and there is a marine patrolling, making sure that Overlord doesn't get too much information. But can it be actually sniped before it gets there? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, the other important thing to take note of is that the link gets in. How? To Tavo.
It just slipped by. Just run. Did he actually see the fusion core?
He did. Looking at the vision of wAesoph, he did spot that fusion core. He doesn't have to waste his overlord to get ready for the BCs.
Very nice from wAesoph. Like, I saw I feel like it was just 2 links just randomly sent across the map, you know. Very nice, very nice.
SMH my head. So the surprise factor isn't going to be there for Tavo, but what I was going to say is that a very common follow-up from a BC opener is mech, which is why we saw that against Neo Shaggy, but Tavo is playing this a little bit differently. Despite going for the BC, he is still investing in stim.
That he is. There are still quite a few Hellions on the map, but it looks like Tavo is gonna be switching out that factory and focusing on the bioplay.
Exactly, and this is the next step that wAesoph needs to scout. Like, he scouted the opener, but he needs to figure out what the follow-up is. Is it going to be Mass Hellion, or is it going to be Man with Gun? So the Overlord is going to be going in relatively soon. We do not have a lair yet. Interesting, wAesoph, instead of going for a lair, he actually went for double Evo upgrades first.
I mean, he is focusing on links for now. Is there even a Baneless? No,
Nope.
there's no Baneless.
Yeah.
So I guess he's just counting on the links, catching the Hellions to deal with that, and then I guess he just sees how it goes.
Yeah, like, this is very strange. This is not standard, I guess is what I should be saying, as the BC gets across the map. Oh my god, as the BC has already been taking a lot of damage, and I guess this kind of makes sense now. The wAesoph, he actually delayed his lair so that he can have 3 queens being produced at a time from all 3 of his bases.
Yeah.
Like, he made a lot of queens.
Yeah, there are 5 on the front to protect from the Hellions. There are even more back at the base, and the BC barely get anything.
He's got 12 queens. 12, that's an insane amount, and it delays his tech, but he makes up for it with his fast Evo chambers, and again, he's going to be very safe. Oh, but the Hellions find a way in.
Yeah, and they find a decent position where the links can't quite get to them, and some drones will fall 7, 9 down, even 10.
Oh my god, and you have to wonder, why are these doing so much damage? Because the lings are across the map, but there's a wall. The wall is a wall, and there are plenty of Marines here to defend.
Yeah, very unfortunate for wAesoph. After the great defense on the beginning, he decided to go for a counter-attack, and it didn't quite work in his favor with 12 drones down in the end.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that wAesoph has to play against Tavo after Neoshaggy, because Neoshaggy was the one who was able to counterattack and get damage done. So Tavo's now aware of that. Like, he's, you know, he's warmed up now against Zerg. So it's a bit of a shame.
To be honest, you may also say that it's unfortunate on the other side, because wAesoph might have seen the previous game and he knew to scout for BCs, you know?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. Well, the other important thing is that BC actually died, so a little bit of mismicro there from Tavo. He did end up losing it to the Queen, so that's a big investment down the drain, but he did get a lot of worker kills anyway. 13 drone kills is nothing to sniff at. Like, it's actually a lot of damage, and Tavo's not done.
Yeah, he cleaned up the whole mineral line, and those Queens will fall to the Marines very quickly. And the Banes are not here yet.
Well, I mean, there are no Banes. Like, the Baneling Nest did finish up, but Baneling speed is still on the way. 2-2, this is the big thing, is that wAesoph actually has a pretty decent upgrade lead compared to Tavo, so he can utilize that to his advantage. So his army is going to be quite strong and quite powerful once he gets his Banelings.
Yeah, still not morphing Banes, it's just Lynx and Queen for now, and the Marines are dishing out so much damage.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they target down the hatchery, they get a kill!
Ooh, that's painful.
Oh my god, Tavo getting far too much damage here. He goes all the way into the main base. He's going to be able to get a couple of queens, maybe, but the Lings are here to respond, and ooh, nice target fire. The medevac gets picked up.
Ooh, nice. Very nice from wAesoph to get at least one of these medivacs. But as he's trying to deal with these drops, the main army of Tavo is actually moving to his side of the map.
Yeah, and even though wAesoph has some decent creep threat here in the middle, he has no vision here on the right-hand side, so he doesn't see the army coming. It's about to rock up, and I was about to be like, where are the Banelings? Finally, Banelings are being morphed in, but in the main, so they're a little bit out of the ways.
The Queens were stuck in the base. The Lynx are trying to get after this army. They will get the tanks, which is very nice, but there are still so many Marines left.
I don't know if that trade was worth it. As you said, getting the tanks was nice, but he lost every single Ling. There are a couple of Banelings. How good are the splits? Split, mommy, split! Ah!
I was really like, okay, splits. They were not great.
That could have been a kill move from Tavo. That if he had split him like perfectly, I think he may have been able to just overwhelm and end the game. But it was not to be. At the same time, Baneling run by gets into the middle line, gets some SCVs.
Look at the wall. Look at the wall. Yeah, there was like a small hole in the wall on the very bottom of it, and that's how the Banelings got in.
SMH my hedge.
See, you know, StarCraft is the game of these small details. You know, you don't pay attention for a moment, and that's all it takes.
Speaking of small details and not paying attention, Tavo's been so aggressive here, denying the 4th base and getting damage done, but he's been neglecting the middle and the southern side of the map. There's a lot of creep here.
Yeah, he's going to clean it now, but like there are so many turmors still. And we remember at the beginning of the game, like wAesoph made so many queens, he should be able to remake this. Oh!
And again, unfortunately the splits were not there. Decent Widowmine shots towards the end, but Tavo did not trade well with his bio. He lost everything.
I mean, that Widowmine shot also took out the rest of the Marines, I feel like.
And now wAesoph may be running away with this. He's going to go for a counterattack with all these Lings. There are a handful of Marines to defend, but again, just not a lot. Like, Tavo just hasn't really been able to get a decent enough army because he just keeps losing it.
Yeah, and if you look at the minimap right now, like the creep is slowly creeping onto the Tavo's bases, and there's a decent force of Lings on the north as well, so basically wAesoph has the control of the map.
He really does. But can Tavo try and bring it back his way? Drilling Claws is done. There is an armory. So we do need detection to deal with this Widowmine drop. He's gonna go in and there's no sport here. Oh, there's no reaction! No! Puppy!
No reaction!
Oh no!
At the same time, all these banelings are getting denied, way too close to the Tavo's base. But on the other hand, another few SCVs fall down, but that's nothing compared to the 17 drones killed by Widowmines.
Yeah, 17 drones did get picked off. There's another Widowmine here, and it does get another shot off at the same time. The main armies are clashing, but off of creep. Sure, there were no Widowmines set up. Sure, there were no tanks, but we saw all those banelings die earlier that were trying to be morphed in. Like, wAesoph is not ready for this push.
Yeah, and now the Widowmines have reset, so even if he runs in, he will lose all his army. He's trying to counterattack with Lings, but that's a beautiful Widowmine shot, and this is pretty much denied.
Yeah, the planetary stands strong. Sure, 8 SCVs went down, but Tavo defends and he attacks at the same time. Kills the base, gonna keep on pushing. We do have some banelings being morphed in, so maybe wAesoph can defend here. Oh god, no, the Widowmine shots!
Yeah, the Widowmine shots. The splits are not great, once again, they're okay. But there's still more army coming, so does it even matter?
Yeah, the rally just doesn't stop. We do have man with gun coming across the map. 0 Lings, 0 banelings left, only queens, and queens are good, but they're not that good. They do not stand, they can't do anything against all these Marines. Ah.
Yeah, man with gun OP.
Man with gun OP. GG gets called, and Tavo will take the first game.
So pretty interesting game one. Once again, the Zerg has done some great moves there, but Tavo's macro was really good, I feel like.
Yeah. I like Tavo, like in broad strokes, he had great macro, he had great like kind of like map awareness and like multi-prong, like setting up for multi-prong and target fire. But he was lacking when it comes to, I would say maybe just splits, right?
Yeah, it's macro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some questionable decisions there, some questionable reactions, but as I said, like in the end, it didn't matter because for every army that was lost, there was another one already marching across the map. It's kind of a Zerg thing, isn't it?
It is. Like, that's the incredible thing about Tavo is that, as you said, like, he may not have been taking the best fights, but he just always had something more coming. And in the end, he was just able to overwhelm wAesoph. I do want to say that wAesoph, though, in comparison, he was keeping up for a long time. He had some amazing creep spread as well, which did help him out. But he just barely didn't have enough in the end. It was such, like, it could have been a completely different game if all those morphing Banes weren't caught out. Like, if they were morphing at home instead, right? Like, just a couple more Banelings and maybe he would have survived.
Yeah. I guess we'll see if he can take it back in the second game, which will take us to Pride of Altaris.
Oh yeah, here we go. Game number 2. Meanwhile, I want to give a bit of a shout out to Paco Mike in the chat. Also, exclamation mark Funada Paco Mike in the chat, because mate, why aren't you in this tournament? God damn it, Paco. God damn it. I mean, he's there. He's quote unquote cheering for Tavo in a way. But it would have been great to see you here, Paco Mike. We also didn't see you yesterday in Copa Hyperion. God damn it. Well, 2 days ago.
Yeah, Paco. Paco, what's going on, Paco? By the way, fun fact, it's always funny to me, and I don't know why, because Dastan has the TTS where you can exclamation mark speak, and for some reason the robot voice reads it as Paco Mike. It's just always funny. I don't know why. So I'm calling him Paco Mike now. You're welcome. But enough about that. As we said, on Pride of Altaris. And once again, we are looking at the purple Terran, representing Peru, and Unidos por el Vicio. It is Tavo.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pride of Altaris LE, we have the Canadian Zerg player representing License to Kill. It is wAesoph.
Nothing too aggressive. Nobody went for a 12 pool. Nobody went for a proxy racks.
I didn't even
standard games.
I didn't even get to mention it, but fun fact: last game, wAesoph, he actually got Burrow.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the production tab.
Yeah. I never had an opportunity to mention it when I saw it, but I was hoping for some borrowed mines, but it didn't happen.
I mean, he did use it once. He borrowed a link under command center, which Tavo was also seeing burrowing, so he immediately scanned and it was killed.
Yeah.
I've seen the chat.
I've seen the chat. I was hoping for some borrowed mines, and maybe that would have been a comeback mechanic for wAesoph, but in the end, maybe we'll see it this game. Maybe, fingers crossed.
Yeah, but so far, we just have the standard, the 4 links from the Zerg, the Marine from the Terran, or no? The Reaper is already on the way. Okay, we're on schedule. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. Everything is standard. Obviously, Tavo has to keep an eye on the goal base, but TvZ is one of those matchups where it's too risky to take a gold early on as a Zerg player or a Terran, any player.
Yeah, the TvZ tends to be quite dynamic in that regard, with early units going across the map, and one link falls down.
Yeah, once again, we do see Tavo taking out 1 Ling so far, and we'll see where he goes from here when it comes to his build. 1-1 already. Is he going to go for another starport, or Tavo? He's banking up. It looks like he wants to go for another faster TC.
So what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Banshees again, or something else? Oh no, starport.
Oh, yeah, never mind. He goes for the starport. So yeah, as you said, is it going to be Banshees or BC? I don't want BC.
It's gonna be Liberator into fast lib range.
Like casting with Yaku? Is that? God. Ay. I mean, we are
Look,
seeing.
He's not here.
He isn't.
Somebody has to bring it up.
Do they? Do they really? Oh god. But this is interesting. Okay, so Tavo is approaching this in a very different manner. It is a 1-1-1, and there's a reason why 1-1-1 is so popular. Like, it's so diverse. As an opener, you can do a lot from here. He is not going for the add-on switch. He's instead going for a very fast stim.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to do it. I mean, as we said, like the last game, like the overwhelming Marines were what won the game. So maybe, Tavo just wants to go straight into that.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe he wants to hit some kind of timing here with Stim. I wouldn't be surprised if he even throws down an armory behind this. Yep, there we go. It is going to be...
That is.
It is going to be a Hellbat push. And I don't know if you noticed, but wAesoph did try to go for a bit of a Link Scout, but he was denied. Looking at his vision, he did confirm that the Rax was moved over, but he didn't see the add-ons. For all he knows, it's Banshees again.
Yeah, I mean... It looks like every time Tavo gets scouted or counterattack, he gets prepared the next game, so it's gonna be a little harder for wAesoph this time. And he does not have that many queens, I think, or did he make that many queens again? Hold on.
He is making nothing but queens right now. He has 6 queens. He has 3 more on the way, so he's going to have 9. He's going for the same build. Again, going for double Evo chambers, delaying that lair. So he's just focusing on defending, and his tech is going to be hindered because of it. But because of this, like, he should be okay against Hellbats.
Yeah, I mean, queens are generally pretty decent against Hellbats, and there's a Liberator coming as well. But with the queens, he should be able to stop that as long as he can get them in position.
I love how he even lands the Viking. Let's go. At the same time, there's a bit of a Ling run by, but the wall is a wall. Reinforcements should be coming out soon, TM, so hopefully these Lings can be dealt with. And the Lings are not here to help buffer for the queens.
Yeah, I feel like that's not the greatest decision by wAesoph, but so far the queens are holding. He's trying to micro them back. There's still a lot of Hellbats left.
Yeah, exactly. There are Ling reinforcements. Again, this shouldn't be a kill move. Like, there should be enough to defend in the end. And wAesoph, he doesn't break into the natural. He's forced to turn around with all his Lings.
What's the Liberator up
to? Liberator is chilling at home. It's Chilean at home. There we go. Now it's going across the map.
See, like normally I would think like as the Hellbats are running into the base, the Liberator is like in the main or something, like killing all the drones because the queens are distracted, right? But I guess the timing didn't quite work out.
Yeah, that was the plan. Unfortunately, it wasn't home because Tavo was afraid of the Lings like breaking in and killing him. So because of the counterattack, like Tavo was his kind of execution of the build was messed up a little bit, and wAesoph, he survives.
He does. And now the Liberator should be coming soon, TM, and the queens don't have the distraction of the Hellbats anymore, so they should be able to transfer where needed. Right?
They should. They should.
Right?
I mean, Liberator rocks up 4 drones, not bad. It's going to be able to reposition and again lay siege upon this base. Queens have to respond. Once again, no creep connecting the bases, so it's going to be a little bit awkward getting in between them.
Wasn't there a copy-pasta about that?
Maybe.
In the OC community? About how Crimson didn't connect the main to the natural?
I think it was Peppy, but yes.
Was it Crimson? I don't remember, honestly.
Maybe. Oh god. Meanwhile, it looks like Liberator is finally going to get taken out. Bit of an unfortunate siege location. Does get 2 more drones, but finally gets cleaned up. Meanwhile, again, I have to praise wAesoph. His creep has been absolutely insane once again, already halfway across the map.
Yeah, I mean, all those queens are paying off, right? And meanwhile, he's going for a counter-attack with the Zerglings, getting a few drones and I guess focusing on just destroying this wall.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, we have a double drop going into the main base, and the Lings are not here to defend. There are plenty of queens, but are the queens going to be enough?
Yeah, these few Lings just ran into the Marines, but the lair is in danger, in fact.
It is in danger. The queens are rocking up. It looks like the queens will be enough to defend. Banelings roll in as well, and they kind of trade almost evenly in workers.
Ooh, 1 Medivac goes down. Very nice.
Uh-oh.
So the Banelings like waddled in.
Drop, puppy, drop! Ah. There was a lot of potential with this drop, but again, it does get cleaned up. wAesoph was trying to go for a counterattack, but Tavo's macro has been on point. The Lings weren't able to get any damage done at the 3rd.
Yeah, we're getting into that stage of the game where Tavo is just, it's just snowballing more and more armies, so it's gonna be harder and harder for wAesoph to just keep up with him. He's getting into Hydralisk then, he's getting into Infestation Beats, so he's gonna build up this army. Do you think he will go for Infestors?
We will see. Like, at the moment, in current meta, we didn't get to see it in game 1 just because of how insane and hectic it was. But if wAesoph is able to get into Lingbane Lurker, this is where I start to worry for Tavo. Like, I don't know if... I haven't necessarily seen Tavo go up against it, but it is kind of a difficult composition to deal with.
Yeah, once again, we see that burrow on the production tab. So, we'll find out how that's gonna be useful. I honestly don't expect the Baneling Widow Mines, or Baneling Mines, but hey, we will see.
We will see. Meanwhile, once again, I just love how, for the second time, Tavo, he has snaked his way around the map, and he is going for a massive push. Bane run by does get spotted, so Tavo only loses 6 SCVs, and now he is here at the hatchery.
Yeah, the Marines are setting up, the tanks are sieging, and the Lings are trying to get back here, but there are no Banelings in this army. They're only morphing now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wAesoph just wasn't ready for a push because he assumed that if a push came, it would be spotted by the creep because he had so much of it. That's why, again, Tavo was so good with his army movement, and wAesoph, he's just going for a counterattack.
Yeah, that seems to be the idea for wAesoph. Oh, the wall is not the wall, but the Lings are actually on attack move, and they are getting into the third base instead.
Oh yeah, and that's a lot of Lings. They will go into the main base, and Tavo is turning around. He is not pushing out across the map. He's thinking about it. Oh god!
The Banes meet with the tanks instead of the Marines, and now there's not a lot of them, but still he has to split.
He does have to split. There are only 2 Banelings left, though. At the same time, it looks like the natural base has been completely given up. Tavo is losing everything at home, but doesn't matter because he's kind of going for a base trade instead.
Yeah, we're getting into a little bit of a base trade. The Lings are actually, some of them are coming back. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like the Lings alone will not be able to defeat this army, especially with the tanks for a backup. But the Banelings are morphing, and we'll see if the splits will save Tavo.
It's one of those things where Tavo, he just killed 2 bases and a Hydra Den, which is cool. Is it enough to really make up for what he lost because he cannot deal with the Ling Bane? He's gonna try though.
Ooh, nice split this time, but there's still so many Banelings, and the Zerg army overwhelms the Terran.
Yeah, Tavo loses everything, and now wAesoph has a massive supply lead. He was able to save the majority of his workers as well. We do see Tavo scanning to see how many bases are you on. wAesoph is only on 3 hatcheries, so this is okay for Tavo, but the problem is the drone count, the worker count. Tavo never killed many workers.
Oh, yeah, Tavo is only at 19 workers now. Sure, you have mules, that's true, but mules are not that good, you know?
Exactly, like Tavo just really doesn't have much going his way anymore. He's got a handful of Marines, he's got some Widow Mines as well, but it's just...
The Zerg army is at his door, and an important thing to note is that his bases are actually mining out as well, so this third base is even more important.
And the problem is that he just mule hammered and he doesn't have any energy for scan, and he's gonna need scans because wAesoph is being so annoying with all these birdlings.
Yeah, so basically, like, as we can see, wAesoph is expanding. He doesn't necessarily have to kill Tavo right now. He's just, you know, stopping Tavo from getting back.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if wAesoph attacked and lost his army, like, that would be a way for Tavo to get back into this game. Instead, wAesoph, Hive is on the way, Lurker Den is on the way, upgrades as well. Like, he's just going to refine, max out, and I don't think there's a world where Tavo can come back here unless... I don't know, unless he goes for maybe some Widowmine drops. If he kills like 30 drones, then maybe he can come back.
Maybe. There is potential. We saw it previously. Also, Lynx die to Widow Mines very easily as well.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, as we're waiting for this mine drop, fala galera to Rocklets TV.
Fala galera. Yes, thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate it, Rocklets. We do have some Brazilian players competing in today's tournament. Yanji is there. If you are interested, I hope you enjoyed your cast, Rocklets. We really appreciate the support. Meanwhile, here we go. We do have that Widowmine drop, but there's no response.
Yeah, all the mines trigger. Actually, I would say only 11 drones killed, because last time it was a little bit more. But still, it is like pretty good result for Tavo.
It is damage, and it's damage that he needs to get done. You know, now he's finally scanning, he's getting his third base up and running, which again is so important. But
it's misplaced.
It is a little bit misplaced. He does notice, he will reposition it. But the big problem is that again, wAesoph is still maxed out. He still has an insane army.
Oh yeah, he's setting up a 2-prong attack, and he's gonna sandwich all of the Tavo's forces in the third base.
Yep, he has access to go into the natural, into the third, wherever the hell he wants to go. There are a lot of Widow Mines that are spread out, so again, maybe if we have the most perfect Widow Mine shots, maybe he can defend up.
Yeah, all the Lynx run in, and there may be actually some friendly fire with the Marines, but it's not necessary. The Banelings just destroyed the Terran army. Yeah, there's barely anything left.
They roll in from both sides. Widow Mine shot does more friendly fire than good. GG gets called, and wAesoph ties up the series 1-1.
Yeah, pretty good. As a reminder, we are currently in the qualifying match of this qualifier, and it is a best of 5. So both players still have good chances to move on.
Oh yeah, yeah, they both have very good chances. For the people that are joining us from Rocklets, this is the qualifier for NA Apprentice, and NA Apprentice allows both North Americans and Latino Americans to compete in the tournament. And this is a qualifying match. It's going to be a best of 5. The winner will qualify for NA Apprentice, which is like,
And the loser still has a chance because we do have a losers bracket.
yes, exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at the bracket yourself. There is that lower bracket available, and yeah, we've got a lot of Latin Americans signed up today. As people are slowly getting knocked out. Oh boy.
Oh, who did we lose?
Yo, exclamation mark Funada sub. Sub didn't even play against Neo Shaggy. That would have been, honestly, Sub versus Neo Shaggy would have been amazing, but he didn't even show up. There was a walkover.
Shaking my head.
Shaking.
He did play his upper bracket match, but he just gave up the loser bracket.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not getting Subway this week.
SMH, my head. Oh god. But meanwhile, I was just quickly checking the bracket. No one has qualified yet. No one yet. So all the matches are still ongoing.
I mean, those are best of 5s, so it may be a little close. So we're gonna find out who's gonna be there first.
Oh yeah, we are going to find out. Again, it's a bit of a shame. Like, things would have lined up nicely for us if we were actually casting Yanji. We were talking about it earlier, how he actually does have a really good match going on right now, a TvZ. Maybe we'll catch Yanji later on, maybe, depending on how things go. If his series goes on longer, we can always jump in after this one.
Indeed we can. But in the meantime, I once again have the honor to introduce what?
Oh god.
To introduce the purple Terran player representing Peru and Unidos por el Vicio. It is Tavo.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have the Canadian Zerg player representing License to Kill. It is wAesoph.
Okay. So, once again, we don't have anything too cheesy. The players today definitely are opting out for the standard macro play, and like we'll see who's better there.
Yep, yeah, we shall see. Also, I just want to give a bit of a shout out. Do you see him in the chat? Sinistro, the admin, the extraordinaire himself, the ESL. What's his title? What's his official title? ESL.
What is his official title?
Like head admin, event organizer.
The Overmind.
The Overmind is also there in the chat as well. Massive shout out to Sinistro.
I mean, I saw Icecar as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I don't know if you remember this, and I have to ask, Sinistro, were you casting? I know you have casted with Rocklets before. He's a man of many hats. Many hats. Oh. But yeah, also I kind of want to Funado the Brazilian players. I was trying to get in contact. I don't have the Zerg Lord or Shakti's Discord, so I was trying to message them to be like, yo, sign up for NA Apprentice, but I didn't know how to get in contact with them, so feels bad, man. Oh god.
Have you checked Eric's Discord? Maybe he has them.
Maybe. If you're wondering, Eric actually is ineligible to play in this tournament because last year Eric got top 2 in DreamHack, and players who have gotten top 2 in DreamHack for their own regions are, they're disqualified from competing in NA Apprentice.
I was actually talking to Sugar about it, and like Sugar was like, yeah, like Eric would fit so nicely in NA Apprentice, but like, that one time.
He's too good.
Yeah, too good.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As we are slowly getting into this game, and it looks like Tavo, I honestly, I like this from Tavo. He's taking a step back. We've seen him be hyper aggressive last game, going for that Hellbat push, but because wAesoph every game so far has been playing very queen heavy, if he does it again, why be aggressive? Why play into how wAesoph is playing? Instead, go economic.
Yeah. Also, apparently Chase knows wAesoph. There you go. Maybe
Oh.
he is from Australia.
Maybe. Oh god. Shaking my head, Chase. Shaking my head. But yeah, it is going to be that third CC before Starport from Tavo. And I'm going to keep my eye on wAesoph. Like, I'm really curious to see if he reactively goes for that double Evo style with Mass Queen, or if that's just what he does every game.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't tried sending the links yet, and the Overlord is prepared to scout. So I guess we'll find out soon.
Well, yeah, that we will. So far, still nothing but Queens in production. We do have a Banshee on the way, but again, this is very delayed because it was a late starport. I'd be surprised if we see. Oh, he's still going for. Still going for Cloak.
Yeah, he did it in the previous match as well, where he went for the third CC and went for Banshee Cloak. So it seems to be kind of like Tavo's build, like one on the list.
I guess so. Oh boy. So we'll see how he does. And yep, we have confirmation wAesoph every single game so far, and it's possible that he just does this every single ZBT. He goes for that double Evo chamber, just holds off on that lair and just focuses on getting Mass Queen to survive and be safe.
I mean, it worked out not too bad for him so far, didn't it? Like he's like tied up with Tavo, but like his early game generally goes pretty decent for him.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate that Tavo did change his build. Just because, like, hey, if your opponent's making this many queens, don't bother with an early push, right? Like, you're not gonna kill your opponent. You're not gonna get into a mineral line. You know, why try?
Also, as an update, Icecar and Rocklets were casting the Worldies PTR tournament.
Oh, I forgot that. You're right. I saw that was happening. That was a thing. True. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. Let us know if anything interesting happened in the PTR tournament, as they were out there doing good work, testing out the new patch.
Yeah. As people said, like it's very important that like all kinds of players test the new patch, because you know that's how we know what to do with the game later on.
Yeah, that's how we know if Protoss is still invo.
What?
We all know the answer to that question. Meanwhile, the Banshees are coming out across the map.
Win rate.
And we do have Spores already in position. wAesoph, he's ready. He's got Queens. He's got Spores. Banshees aren't going to find any damage here.
Yeah, you were saying how you like that Tavo went for this build, but I'm not sure I like going Banshees against this many Queens around, and Spores as well.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the third TC. I didn't like the fact that we still had Banshees. But you know what? He's still getting damage done. You know, 5 drone kills, not bad.
Yeah, there you go. Found a nice position between the natural and the main base. And once again, there is no creep connecting those two bases. Come on, get that copy pasta. Chase, do you know the copy pasta about the creep?
Oh my god, at the same time, we do see all these Hellions trying to get into the third base, but the Wall of Queens are here, the Lings are here as well. The Hellions do not find a way in, not yet, and wAesoph instead goes for a counterattack.
Yeah, and this base is actually undefended. A lot of SCVs may fall down. I guess we will find out.
Oh yeah, nice reaction though from Tavo. He does pull away the SCVs, doesn't lose any of them, and his Hellions are not too far behind either, so nice defense so far.
Yeah, the Hellions got back just in time to scare off all of these Lings, and there hasn't been a single SCV that lost.
Oh yeah. Very impressive defense so far. Meanwhile, the Hellions again trying to find a way in. They do clear up a lot of this creep, but we have plenty of Queens to replenish that creep.
A drop.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be scouted. It's gonna be scouted by all of those Lings.
Oh god, but the Lings, they're gonna go into the main base. The wall apparently is a wall. They do not get in. Wow, Tavo just barely defends in time.
You're telling me that's a wall?
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the E-base, they're tied against each other.
So I could feed an Ultralisk today. What is this?
God damn it, StarCraft. Well, yeah, apparently it is a wall. Meanwhile, Tavo now is finally moving out with his drop. 1-1 is completed, so we're tied up in upgrades. Looks like he's not going to get too much economic damage done, but at least he's able to try and stifle this creep spread.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw in previous games, like the creep spread was always great for wAesoph, so I guess it's good to start early on that.
No! god. That medevac got so
That was
low. It's crazy.
He
He's
has
still
to be
going.
careful.
Yeah, he needs to calm down, he needs to back off. Speaking of calming down, I think something that I'm most surprised about is that we are still lacking some of these upgrades. Hydrogen was thrown down, but we still didn't have an infestation pit, we don't have a lair, we don't even have any of the hydro upgrades. One of the medevac goes down.
Yeah, there are so many queens on wAesoph side of the map, but Tavo is sending out the reinforcements, and soon this army may be a little too much for the Zerg.
This time, though, for the first time this series, this push gets scouted. wAesoph had control of the Zelnaga. He knows about the army. He gets ready. Banelings are being morphed in, and he does cancel that hatchery.
Yeah, a lot of the Banelings were sniped before they were ready, but still, it gives a little bit of a heads up to the Zerg.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, all the creep gear has been cleaned up. Tavo has been setting up for this push for a while now, and it means that wAesoph is going to have a really hard time pushing out up this ramp.
Once again, wAesoph just decides to counterattack with his links while the Hydras and Banelings are trying to clean up this army. He may get some damage, but there are Marines here to defend.
There are Marines, so Tavo is safe at home. Meanwhile, Lings are going to go for a massive surround.
Oh, he may get the tanks from the back while the Hydras clean the front.
Yeah, exactly. Everything gets cleaned up, but not before 14 drones go down. That's finally some economic damage. Tavo has the worker lead. He defended beautifully at home. He's getting a fourth base up and running. Even has a sensor tower for those run-bys. Is this a wall? Yeah, maybe? Is there a hole between those two depots? Oh
no?
my god! The wall is not a wall! There's holes all over the place!
Like, I was gonna say no, but then I remembered the NG base and now I'm doubting myself.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore. I don't know if I can believe my eyes. But the Banelings did roll in, 13 SCVs went down, so wAesoph is able to deal that counter damage, and suddenly, because he was droning up, he's able to again replenish all those workers lost.
Yeah, and he's currently in the worker lead, but we do have to remember that it is Terran that he's facing, and Terran does have the mules. So this is actually not that huge of a difference as previously.
It really is not, but what is the difference is we have another Widowmine drop. This time he gets spotted though, so Tavo's gonna have a hard time getting damage done here. I'm also a little bit concerned because we finally have some Hydras, but where is the Hive? The Hive is very late.
Yeah, I guess Burrow is a little bit more important, huh? As the Banelings are cleaning up the mineral line of Tavo once again. He actually managed to evacuate most of them, but not these ones.
Yeah, exactly. The Banelings roll in every single SCV. Oh my god, even the planetary goes down. But at the same time, the Bio Army takes out another hatchery across the map.
Yeah, and now will wAesoph have enough Banelings? He has 5 Banelings right now. And 24 more morphing.
Oh my god,
but can they be here in time?
We'll see. The Banelings are on the way. The drones actually borrowed to hide for the reason. The Banelings! No, where are the splits? Oh god!
Hot pickup on a lot of those Marines, so actually more of them survived than it looked like. But that was a beautiful sandwich from the Zerg.
It really was. At the same time, we did have a bit of a Widowmine drop here at the third base, but wAesoph keeps the majority of his drones alive. Everything would have been different here if this mineral line went down.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so what's the next step?
Now we get a moment to breathe a little bit. There's been a lot of chaos going on. Tavo's trying to get his fourth base back up and running. And that creep spread is slowly being respread, but wAesoph is still only on 3 hatcheries. He needs to get this other base up and running. Oh, the Widowmine shots.
Yes, the Marines are trying to move in once again, but there are so many links here actually.
Yeah, there really are. Tavo cannot find a way and he's forced all the way back home. He actually gets surrounded, so everything is going to get cleaned up, but at the same time, we do have another double drop, and this time he wants the drones. He wants to get in, but there are just so many queens.
Yeah, the queens are there and are being transfused as well, so he only gets one of them as he's just trying to fly away, but yeah, this army shrank a lot.
God, it really did, and Tavo desperately needs to get another base up and running. The medevacs are trapped here between queens and hydras. They cannot find a way out. Not yet anyway, unless Tavo's able to distract all those hydras.
Yes, he is right now.
Oh no, the Widowmines! Oh.
Yeah, unfortunate pathing there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there we go. He does go for the drop. Does deny a lot of mining here at the 4th base. Bailey's going to roll in, though, and they're going to clean everything up.
Yeah, only one full medivac so far. For now, I guess. Oh, this Widow Mice was about to reset. It could actually get a lot of the army. Only gets one link in the end.
Yeah, only one Widow Mine managed to survive. We need to borrow it, Puppy. Borrow all these mines. We need to get some shots off. Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, all the link bane is gone now, and it's just Hydra's cleaning up the rest of the Terran army. But there is not that much a Terran army, is there?
No, there isn't. Banelings are rolling on in. One more shot goes off. Does connect with the Banelings, though. And with that, Tavo may be able to defend. Oh, God.
Yeah, this time there's nowhere to evacuate all these workers, so they are gonna fall to the Banelings eventually.
16 SCVs go down. Tavo barely has any workers remaining, but because the Banelings were used on the SCVs, that means there's nothing to protect the Hydras. Every single Hydra goes down.
Yeah, that changed very suddenly. It's at the same time that drop is once again back and doing damage.
I kind of want these medevacs to come back with the army. Like, medevacs, you're not... Stop making medevacs! We still have 2 being produced at a time! Tavo, yeah, you have enough medevacs! Please!
I mean, there's nothing in those medevacs anyway.
Oh, God.
It's literally one medivac.
No! Maybe I spoke too soon. All the medevacs are finally getting picked off. Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Maybe he just assumed that they are dead. I don't know.
Oh, God. Meanwhile, here we go. Another push. And again, wAesoph has no vision here. This hatchery is so vulnerable.
Yeah, the queens are there, but the rest of the army is focusing on defending this drop, so this might do a little bit of a damage.
Ooh, every single medevac goes down. Ooh. Nice use of all these queens. But, I mean, the queens are now trapped. They're finally going to go down.
Yeah, the queens go down, the base goes down. And do we have enough army to defend this push? I think so. There are Banes being morphed, and they should be able to deal with this.
Yeah, but if Tavo was a little bit more on top of things, he may have been able to focus on the hatchery. The hatchery is so incredibly low, but at this point, fighting on creep against all this Link Bane, Tavo, I don't know if this is the fight you want to take.
Oh, split. Oh, actually, focus fire. That's pretty good.
It's not bad. There are a lot of Marauders that are going to be able to soak up a lot of these Banelings. Oh, God.
That was an interesting video, my shot. All of the Banelings went down, and there's still a bit of bio army left, and they're gonna deal with all of those queens.
They just need to sneeze on the hatchery. They just need they just a little bit more. He gets it. Oh my God, and with that, wAesoph is knocked down to 2 bases. He does get another hatchery up and running. And again, wAesoph does such a good job at keeping his drones alive, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and Tavo takes the lead in this series.
Yeah, once again, this is a best of 5, so Tavo is in the lead, but it's not done yet.
Wow. GG, well played. Congratulations, Tavo, on taking that game, but as Kuro just said, it's not over. This is a best of 5. We still have at least one more game to go.
Indeed we do, as I am catching up on the chat. Apparently Nip free-wound MaxPax, as MaxPax tried all sorts of aggression and failed.
I appreciate that
Iskar said that there were queen walks.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say that hopefully for that PTR tournament, players are specifically playing in such a way to test the changes. So I appreciate that some people did try to queen walk anyway. I appreciate that MaxPax did try to be aggressive with even shield batteries across the map anyway. Like, these are things that, you know, you should be testing, right? That's the purpose of the tournament.
Also, an update from Sinistro. 3 nerfs on TOS, and the finals was PvP.
Oh, God.
Look.
God damn it. It wasn't enough.
Look.
Oh, Chase has another copy pasta for you.
Playing Zerg is so hard. You need to spread creep to counter Helios, creep to counter 2-1-1, creep to counter mech, creep to counter bio, creep to counter aggressive Terran, and creep to punish defensive Terrans.
That is not the copy pasta we were talking about, but thank you anyway.
It is not the copy pasta, but thank you.
Also, fun fact, I think that's the repurposed ghost copy pasta.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, playing Terran is so hard. You have to make ghosts against ultras, ghosts against ghosts against broodlords, ghosts against vipers, ghosts against infestors. Feels bad, man.
But yeah, Chase, I was talking about the copy pasta about something he didn't win because he didn't connect his natural to the main or something.
Yeah, it's
I don't remember how the copy pasta went. But I think it was about Crimson.
Yeah, the copy pasta is told in such a way of like it being a story. It's like it tells a story.
Yeah.
The gap between those two NG bays are filled by bureaucracy.
Yes. Yes, they are.
God.
Look.
Tavo needs some AoE 4 practice. Build some walls over there. True, true. Like his walls weren't the worst, but they weren't the best either.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time they did the job. I guess.
They kept the SCPs in. I mean,
they did. It was like an emergency, exit, but in the end the exit was to nowhere. But hey, let's see if Tavo can build better walls this time. Or I guess the same walls because the engine base worked. As he is here as the purple Terran, representing Unidos por el Vicio and Peru. It is Tavo.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres ALE, we have the Canadian Zerg player representing Team License to Kill. It is wAesoph. Oh, he may be. Okay, never mind.
I think he's just not being.
I mean, maybe he was asking, is this correctly the fourth map? Like, is this supposed to be 2000 Atmospheres? So, I mean, hopefully it is.
Hopefully it is. I think they posted before the match
They
what the
did.
order was.
They did. I didn't
But,
look at it.
like, I don't have it on hand
Yeah.
to look at it.
Oh, God. But yes, Tavo only needs one more win to qualify for NA Apprentice. Meanwhile, wAesoph needs one more win to bring it to the ace match.
Indeed. And once again, there is no cheese. Very clean games. Very standard, very macro, just let's see who can get there.
It's been beautiful. It's been amazing. Like, it's been it's some high quality games we've been getting here. I love it. I'm not disappointed at all. I also want to say that wAesoph, he's still a little bit uneasy. Like, his overlord pathing has been on point. He's been looking for proxies just in case. But we know that Tavo, he's an honorable Terran player, except he plays mech.
Yeah, I grew up with that.
Disgusting.
No, but it would make a lot of sense to, like, after all these macro games, like when he's like leading to like throw a cheeky one, like, so I totally understand wAesoph caution.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. As the game is slowly getting underway, we do have the little bit of Reaper micro against all of these lings. We'll see if he even manages to get one ling. Up. He gets one. And only one for the time being. Once again, every single game, wAesoph has done an amazing job at getting this third base on time, at keeping his drone alive and away from that Reaper. And I'm curious to see what kind of build we're going to get. Oh, once again, Tavo goes for the faster TC.
So, Banshee or BC?
I don't want any. I'll be honest, I don't want any.
That's not the choice. Banshee or BC?
No, not
Liberator.
God damn it. Oh, God. I wouldn't be opposed to the comeback of... Nah, I was going to be like, it'd be nice if we had BCs, but again, like, wAesoph plays so queen heavy. Like, don't get any of them, Get a lib.
I mean, he did get a lib one of those games.
Yeah, he did.
And then the lib stayed at home because Lynx attacked.
Yes. At least he was able to get some damage done with
it.
I think that was the game I think that was the game that wAesoph won, right?
I'm not sure, actually.
Oh, but as you were saying, we do have that fusion core thrown down, so it looks like Tavo does want to go into those BCs. Questionable move. Questionable because we have so many queens, and we're going to have so many queens, but We'll see.
Yeah, I do think like BCs are a bit too risky, knowing that wAesoph goes with very queen heavy because, yeah, like, you know, when you have like 4 queens, it may be a bit more difficult to position them right, but when you have like 12 or whatever
Uh-huh.
number he got to in the end, like you can just leave a few at every base.
Yeah, and as we can see, and this is, I guess, useful information for future wAesoph opponents, he has literally gone for the same build every single game. He just keeps going for the double evos, keeps going for mass queen production until he has 12, and then he gets the lair. And again, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But there are ways, like, if you know how your opponent's going to play, there are ways to abuse that and take advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely. And as we say, like, you know, maybe the score doesn't say it, but like all of those games are decided in like, you know, the mid to late game, right? Like it's not like the opening is pretty solid. So, yeah, ways of just sticking to what is good.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit excited right now because Tavo has not stopped Hellion production. I'm really curious to see if he's going to throw down more factories. Like, he played mech against Neo Shaggy.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't done it yet in this series against wAesoph.
Oh yeah, he's going like, I feel it. I can feel it in Hellion wheels.
Yeah, I can feel it in the Hellions, mate. It's oh god, the Hellions are going to show their hand, and this is definitely an abnormal amount of Hellions, so wAesoph is going to get tipped off. How is he going to respond, though? Is he still going to go Ling Bane Hydra?
I mean, the bendingness is on the way. I guess if it's Hellbats, like bendings are still pretty decent, but the BC is in the base.
Oh yeah, the queens are too busy spreading creep. They're too busy dealing with the Hellions, and the queen in the main goes down.
Yeah, the queen goes down. These queens are also in danger, in fact, out of creep and being just burned by the Hellions. And the BC is uncontested still. Oh, the queens are there now, but it did get us 6 drones.
Oh yeah. 6 drones, not bad, especially because of how many queens there are. Again, we have 8 queens on the map right now. 2 just died, otherwise we would have had 10. And despite that, the BC still gets damage done.
Yeah, in the end, the BC wasn't as bad as a choice, huh?
Exactly. Just the way that Tavo was able to execute it, he was able to pull apart wAesoph's attention, and he's still going, by the way. Like, the Hellions never got surrounded. They never got dealt with. That Hellion count is getting a little bit higher.
Yeah, and there are links there to deal with them, but they need a good position, and this is a nice crossfire.
Oh my god, mate, is this it? All the links go down just like that. The base has to be evacuated. The BC even comes in to help support all these Hellions. Queens are enough to force all this back, but again, damage is being done, a lot of lost mining time.
Yeah, and that means a lot of these queens are here, so if Tavo rotates to the other bases, he has a chance for damage.
He really does. He's thinking about it. He wants to go for it, but he has to be covered
queens
against
are
surrounded. Up! Up!
Yeah, some of the Hellions get surrounded, but he also burns a lot of the links.
Yeah, the positioning was just too good. All the Lings bunched up. It looks like the Hellions don't have enough HP left. They will get cleaned up in the end, but they still dealt so much damage. And behind this, Tavo, he threw down 2 armories. He's getting all his factories up and running. Like, his mech is well underway, and wAesoph economically isn't where he would have wanted to be.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like, it did help that the BC actually pulled the queens away, so that meant, like, this defense was even more difficult for the Zerg, and there are, once again, more Hellions coming.
Yeah. And just Lings are just not the best answer here. Like, we see how many Lings have been barbecued this game. Like, they're not what you want, especially because Blue Flame is on the way as well. And I was talking about this earlier. When your opponent is just continuing to pump out BCs, Hydras aren't the best unit to go for. Roach Warren is thrown down now. Arguably, it's too late.
I mean, the Hellbats are here, so I don't know if the Roaches can even get out.
Exactly. BC is going to be able to distract all of these queens. The space here on the left-hand side was denied, and Tavo is just getting ready for the 1-2 punch. wAesoph even getting supply blocked. Pretty big supply block, actually. Oh. So 5 overlords are being produced at a time, and Tavo, he's getting closer and closer to being maxed out. That's the scary thing. Like, his work account is honestly looking pretty good. He's taking more bases left and right. wAesoph just hasn't even had the opportunity to counterattack across the map.
Yeah, indeed. And the mech is coming. There's even more upgrades for the Cyclones, for the Hellions. And they are slowly moving into the Zerg space. There are 15 roaches on the way, so that will help with the Hellions. There is this Lingran bite, which is actually doing a lot of damage to the base. But is it good enough?
Yeah, I mean, it's something, right? It's better than nothing. Let's be honest. But is it enough? At the moment, I don't think so. Like, another base is denied by these BCs. They still have their Yamatos stocked up, ready to go as well on these queens. I worry because the queen count isn't ideal. Okay, there we go. We have more queens in production. But we'll see if he's ever going to be able to really deal with these BCs.
Yeah, more queens are falling down to Yamato, and the single Hydra is not gonna deal much damage. The Lynx are trying to chase these Hellions, but once again with Micro they can be cleaned out with Blue Flame. And yeah, it's getting really hard for wAesoph whenever he moves.
What I will say is that thankfully he did successfully transition into roaches. Problem is that it took a long time to get here, so a lot of lings were wasted in the process. So these roaches will be able to clean everything up. But now we have tanks. Now we have Cyclones coming out. Is wAesoph going to have enough? He needs Ravagers desperately, but the army is coming.
Yeah, we got to that point where Tavo is just railing units in, and there are a lot of Ravagers here, but can they snipe all these tanks?
They get
they
one.
Take one.
They get one tank, but the base is given up. wAesoph knows that he cannot attack off of creep. He cannot push up this ramp. Does have more Banelings on the way. Tavo is going to have a hard time pushing down here into this army, but he did get the base.
Yeah, and he is slowly leapfrogging the tanks, which is also nice because, you know, Ravagers are pretty squishy themselves, so if he gets a few shots on them, it may be disastrous.
Oh god, meanwhile the 4 BC hit squad rocks up. We see the queens die. Where the transfuse? The transfuse was not fast enough.
Transfuse is not fast enough, the queens fall, and in the meantime, wAesoph is trying to deal with this attack on the other side of the base. He's gonna clean the tanks, I feel like. Yeah, it looks like.
It's what we've been here before. He deals with the ground army. How do we deal with the BCs? What is the answer to the BCs? We have no Hydras, we have no Corruptors. Spire only just started. There is 0 anti-air. BCs, they're just gonna win the game.
Yeah, I mean, he is expanding to a lot of bases at the same time, so I guess he's just buying time, but the BCs are coming.
Yeah, they're just going uncontested. I mean, Ravagers can bile, I guess. That's going to be his hope. 2 queens just popped out. So we have 2 queens, copium.
Look, Ravager biles did some damage, I guess, because BCs are slow. But they're still here.
Yeah, they're still here. They go from the main into natural. At the same time, there was a massive... No, the Lynx, they were on move command. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, and they get cornered by all of these mech units. Once again, the BCs barely dodge, and Tavo qualifies for the NA Apprentice.
GG, well played. Davito does it. He is, of course, the Latin American Terran Hope, the rising star, comes out and takes the series 3-1. And I think what I love most about this series is, again, Tavo, he played differently every single game. You know, he had a different build.
Yeah, he had a few different builds there. A lot of them involving the Terran air units, as we saw both Banshees and BCs, as well as a Liberator and Medivacs. So that's pretty much all of them. There were Vikings too in one of the games. Yes. So we got the full range of the air units, except the Raven.
He had a lot of variety, and in the end, he was able to pull apart his opponents. I think another important thing to take note of is that wAesoph, I think maybe in only one game, he was able to tech to lurkers. Every other game, he had a really hard time getting there. A lot of that is because of his build, like his tech is delayed. You know, he's stuck on Ling Bane much more longer than I think he would like, or maybe that's just how he enjoys playing. But it doesn't scale as well into the late game against how Tavo plays.
Yeah, and the one time he did get lurkers, they died to BCs.
Yeah, true.